Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as I pass the floor to Sales Master Han Sumin and our special guest, Sales Master Jessica.
Hello everyone!
Hi.
Wah. Selamat malam. 大家晚上好. Yes, good evening everybody and good morning to some of our participants today. Wow, today we are having our team's talk show. Again, we are trying to do it once a month, right? Last talk show, we have invited Star Master Jung Jong-moon, the guy who went to Philippines without even speaking English. And then we had a very fun session. And since we have very good feedback, we have brought another English-speaking Korean. Yay! So I have invited Jessica over. And I got to actually know her through Academy official panel. I was watching Success Academy on February. I think it was around February. And I was watching in this sofa. I was like watching. And then I got to hear new Sales Master promotion. And this young lady came out and then she was talking and she was so good at what she was doing. And then she said, 大家晚上好. And in English, hello everyone. So I was like, whoa, what is this? This is Chinese girl, crazy. So I searched like a stalker in Instagram. Oh, where's this person? So I got to find this lady from Instagram. Guys, her YouTube is @misoda. So although it's in Korean, she might have some plans to make some English content. Are you?
Yes,
So
definitely.
you can follow her also if you want. And yeah, that's how I got to invite her over. And I got to realize also that she lives quite close. Let's say close, yeah. In Korea, if it's, I think 1 hour plus minus is still considered close.
Yes, pretty close. Yeah.
Pretty close. Around like 1 hour and a half from my house. So let us give big a round of applause for this lady because she drove 1 hour and a half plus 30 minutes because she took the wrong road to my house. Had to take extra 30 minutes to come over. And then she reached my house and she actually came tonight and gonna sleep over at my house.
Yay, sleepover time.
Yeah. So let us give big round of applause for this lady Jessica Choi for coming over to our house to attend the talk show today. Yay!
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for coming to our house for the talk show today.
First of all, thank you, Simon, for introducing me as a special, very, very special guest. I'm so grateful to be here tonight. You're the best MC I ever seen. I just love how energetic you are, and it's really happy to see you guys' faces and just give me these big smiles. Cause actually this is my first time doing global meeting. So I'm pretty excited, but at the same time, really nervous to share my own experience. So if my voice shakes a little bit, please do understand. Oh yeah, she's pretty young and she's doing it for the first time. So think about your youth. So yeah, first of all, thank you, Sumin, Sales Master, for inviting me here. Yeah, and there's a lot of stories that I want to share with you. So yeah, stay tuned, okay? If I can't see your faces, that means you're leaving. So yeah, that hurt my heart a lot. So please make sure you show your beautiful and handsome faces to me so I can also give you my 100% for this meeting. Thank you.
Like, I mean, while listening to her, I thought, what nonsense. Like, shaky voice. I actually got to also hear, I had a dinner with her today, and she used to be also a PD, like for a radio station in Brisbane. Can you imagine? Like, whoa, what is this? Oh, I'm so excited to have Jessica over today. So, like, oh, Simon said in the checking room, wow, very fluent in English.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
guys, she is not Korean. She's like 50% Aussie and 50% Korean. She's like half.
Yeah, just to make sure, if for someone who doesn't know about Brisbane, It's one of cities in Australia. So I don't know if you picked it up already. So I have this bit of Australian accent. So yeah, enjoy.
I love your accent. See, it's making me feel Aussie too.
So I came from the country where the koalas and kangaroos. So
Have you ever seen a koala and kangaroo yourself?
yeah, I actually had kangaroo steak and it was nice.
You
It
can
was
have
tender.
steak with kangaroo meat?
Yep, surprisingly, but it was pretty good.
I didn't know.
But we can't eat koalas though because they're too cute to eat, you know.
Wait, that isn't that a bit discrimination?
Yeah, let's move on. Move on.
Okay, we got to find out that Australian people have discrimination against their two representative animals with kangaroos and koalas. So that's a very fascinating story. And guys, throughout today's session, don't forget to leave in the chatting room whatever questions you would like to ask Jessica while we carry out today's session. Do not hesitate to go ahead and ask. Okay. Audrey said, "Wow, girls sleeping over not fun! Yay!"
Yay, PJ party.
Yeah. So we are gonna have lots of fun today, even after the talk show. So, Simon said, "Yeah, I can listen to the accent."
Oh, you picked it up pretty well. Nice.
Yeah, I think everybody can pick it up.
Yeah. So sometimes my friends who are from America, they make fun of my accent because we say water instead of water. So we say, "Oh, can I have a cup of water?" So it's kind of
Water.
mixture of American accent and British accent. So yeah, we don't say water or water. We say water.
Water.
Yeah, more like
Water.
casual, you know, like
Water.
chill. Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Mhm.
My accent is my friends used to call me nowhere accent.
Oh, nowhere.
So it's not American, it's not Australian, it's not British, it's not Korean, it's not like it's from
Yeah.
nowhere.
We should call it Anthemian accent. We are all mixed up.
Yeah. Okay, so let's begin. I actually got to talk to her during dinner time, and I saw her Success Academy speech. Right, she's a trilingual. So why don't we start today's session talk show with you talking in 3 different languages? And guys, I got to also know that she's not actually trilingual. She's actually quadrilingual. She told me don't say it, but I wanted to say it. So she can speak Chinese, Korean, English, and a little bit of Japanese as well. So go ahead and shoot. Show your abilities.
There's a peer pressure on here. I'll just speak a little bit, you know. So obviously English, 안녕하세요, Korean, Japanese, yeah.
I love Japanese.
愛してる,
Oh,
水好きです. And Chinese, 大家好，我叫崔素妍，现在我跟我妈妈、爸爸和我一起工作这个阿东美事业，所以为我们的成功，大家加油加油！
Okay, is there any Chinese attendees here? Raise your hand.
Oh my
Oh my gosh,
they're gonna
can
judge
you-
me. Her Chinese is bad.
Yay! So I think all the Chinese attendees here today will be excited to hear the very rare Chinese among our sessions, since our sessions are carried out in English, and now we have Chinese speaker, so that's making us all very happy. And I also wonder, what did she say in Japanese? Do you understand? Actually, I can guess.
Oh, okay.
She said, "I love you.
Yes, I did, which is 愛してる.
I like water."
Yeah.
Ah! I also got to study a little bit of Japanese when I was in high school, and I studied a bit of Chinese when I was in university. So you can say I'm also quadrilingual.
Yeah, we can
Because
say
you can actually see the difference on the persistency level. Guys, this is why we have to be persistent in whatever we do. Even if the starting line is the same, if we just continue whatever we are doing every day, the finishing line is different, as you can see in language and also in anatomy. This works especially in anatomy. Okay, so how did you get to speak so many different languages? That's like very fascinating story.
I think most people would wonder how I can speak. I could say, yeah, bit of each language. It's because, as Simon said earlier, I went to Australia when I was 15, just by myself without my parents. So it was a big decision for my parents, also for myself, to live in a foreign country by myself,
Yeah,
which means I
definitely.
had to survive. So in order to survive with foreigners, you got to speak in their tongue language, right? So that's how I picked up my English. I was pretty fortunate because normally in Australia, for Asian students, they choose another Asian student so they can hang out together. But
Very true.
yeah, because
Asians stick with Asians.
yeah, just to feel familiar. But in my case, so there's another Korean student who was called a buddy to me. But a year later, she had to leave, and she only had Australian friends. So which means I only get to have Australian friends. So that's how I picked up my English.
Mhm.
And for Chinese, when I was a primary school student back in Korea, my neighbor, she was Chinese. So because I had a really strong relationship with my neighbor, so I picked up a bit of Chinese from her. And when I went to junior high school in Korea, when I was grade 8, the second language in my junior high school was English and Chinese. So that's how I learned it. For my Japanese, I went to obviously Australian high school, and Australian high school, the second language is Japanese. So I picked Chinese and started learning new language, which was Japanese. And guess what? You know, life is full of changes. When I went to university in Australia, I studied politics. So in order to study politics, you got to choose one of foreign languages. And guess what? I chose obviously the most familiar one, which was Chinese. So for people like me, we often say we speak no language, zero language, because we are not fluent in any languages. So some cases, I think of this certain word, but I can't think of in Korean or in English. So it was so mixed up.
This is so funny thing. I'm also like zero language. My English is not perfect, but my Korean also sucks. So when I'm talking in Korean, somehow the Korean words don't really come to my mind. The English words come to my mind. And sometimes it feels so ridiculous. But Chinese is like not even elementary. It's like it's not even kindergarten. It's like infant level. But Chinese word just pops out, and I cannot just say that in Korean or in English. It's just like absurd thing. It's like problem with
I totally agree. I totally feel you. Yeah.
yeah. Anyhow, we got to hear our story out. So you actually go to Australia when you were so young, like 15-year old. That's like when you're a teenager.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't easy though.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, she studied politics when she was in uni, right? She actually majored the same what is the subject like me.
Yeah.
She studied politics, but she studied 국제정치. That's like international relations, international politics.
Yeah, my major was that as well.
Yeah, that's my major. My first major was international relations. My second major was management. All right. So we got to find out we have so many things in common. We're same age.
Same age. We're both 27. Right?
We're both 27. We studied. We are both zero language people. We live nearby, and then we all got to study the same things, and then you're all doing anatomy. And then we have our parents doing another business. Yay! So I got to the so my question here comes out is, after staying in Australia for so long time, like around like 10 years,
11 years,
plus, 11 years, what made you come back to Korea after staying in Australia for so long time?
Definitely to see my parents first, and to be honest, I didn't expect to stay here for such a long time. That's why I put all my stuff to my friend's house, and including even my ex guys. So he has my stuff as well, and so because I thought I was gonna go back, but since coronavirus arose, Australia closed all the borders for foreigners, which means I couldn't go back and finish my degree. And surprisingly, few months before me going back to Korea, my parents started to sending me this YouTube link of anime CEO, successful people, to convince that anime is for me. And guess what? Obviously, I ignored it. No, anime isn't my thing. So Your question was why I was here.
Yeah, why you-
It was a surprise. I didn't expect this, so I didn't want this for the first time. But because of the situation, I had to stay here, and here we are.
So when exactly did you come back to Korea?
I came back at the end of March last year. Yeah, so nearly more than a year.
Guys, now I think you already can assume why she have no choice. She had no choice but to stay.
Mm.
March last year. That's why when Corona started to become crazy.
It was really severe.
So you come to Korea to visit your parents.
Yeah.
Then Corona struck.
Yeah.
And then border closed down and you
Mhm.
cannot go back.
Exactly.
And then your things are at your old ex's place also.
Yeah.
You cannot do anything.
Yep.
about that.
Too much information. Move on.
TMI. Okay, let's move on. Okay, that's like funny. So you come to Korea and then after you're coming here, your parents keep on talking to you about Academy.
Yeah.
So that's how you got to know about Academy. How did you get to know about Academy? Have you got to hear about Academy before your parents told you?
Oh, actually, the first time I encountered with one of the Academy products was when I was in high school. So I visited one of my friends, and she was using the Academy skincare product, which I think it was when I was 17 years old. So it was really, really long time ago.
Wow.
Back then, I thought
Wait.
Academy.
When you were 17, that's like 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So when it started,
That was 2011.
yeah, whatever. Just want to say it was a long time ago. And back then I thought Academy is only for people who have skin problems. So
Why?
because she had really dry skin, and then she always scratched her skin. So when I saw Academy, it looked great, with the white shape and everything.
You really thought the case was good?
Yeah, I mean, compared to Australian skincare
Oh
products,
my god,
and Korean skincare product looked pretty, the
Ooh.
white long shape.
I am so shocked.
Really?
Sorry to cut you off,
Yeah.
but the reason why I didn't use Academy products, my partners will know, I didn't use Academy products for 5 years and a half.
Because it was ugly?
Yeah!
No.
Because compared to the any other skincare products that I have been using in Korea, Academy previous packaging, it was back in 2011. It was like white and tall and has very ugly logo on it, very ugly typo. So I felt like it's like one of the marketplace goods that you can buy from the streets.
Remember what it matters
Yeah.
is what's in there, not the outside. So we often say, don't judge a book by its cover, right?
But you just mentioned that in Aussie that's considered good, right? So that's what shocked me.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
So first encounter was at my friend's place, skincare product. Second encounter was when I was a university student. I went to one of my best friend's place in Australia, and she gave me Hemlin. She said, "Oh, my mom sent this from Korea. She said it's good for my health, so I wanted to share with you." Guess what? When I tried it, I couldn't finish it because the taste was awful. Yeah, I know some of you guys might agree with me. It was just awful, and I thought they were gonna be the last time that I see Academy products, but guess what? When I came back, that Hemlin was on the kitchen table at my place. So I was like, wait, I just had that in Australia and I saw that on my kitchen table. That product must be good. Yeah. And then my dad told me how he had so many help from Hemlin for his liver, because we have family history of having weak liver. So he said, "Oh, daughter," because most parents, they want the best for their children, right? So my dad suggests, please have this. It will help with your liver. And I had Hemlin, and it helped me immensely, not only with liver, but I had PMS, like really agonizing pain whenever I have PMS. For some people who doesn't know about PMS, as a woman, we have period every single month. And for me, unfortunately, whenever I have my period, it was so severe to the point that I had to go to ER, which is emergency room. So I had to go on an ambulance. That's how serious it was. And I tried everything. The doctor even gave me medication, which was 8 times stronger than the normal Panadol. And I had side effect of having migraine and feeling like I was gonna vomit. So it felt like I didn't have any hope to heal my PMS. But after having hemolymph for a few months, bam, it was gone. Literally, it was just gone. And I couldn't live without Panadols and medication. But hemolymph got rid of that from my life. So that's why I had really strong faith and belief in the power of hemolymph.
Okay, guys, let us give big round of applause for hemolymph. Now we cannot go over without clapping, right? Wow.
So for those who know, if you know anyone who suffer from this sort of pain, because hemolymph,
Ladies.
yeah, one of the ingredients is called Angelica gigis. So it's really good for women's uterus. So I strongly recommend for women, mothers, daughters, girls, yeah, have hemolymph. I strongly recommend.
Actually, my older sister also had this problem with PMS. Severe pain during period, especially the first time. For me, the pain isn't as bad, so when I have painkillers, I can survive. I can survive. But my sister, even after taking painkillers, she always had like she first say we cannot touch her.
Oh
We need to leave her alone in the room.
Get really moody.
Yeah.
Really sensitive.
But then after taking hemolymph, it disappeared. Like now she don't have any of these issues anymore.
Yeah.
So this is one of the reasons actually my mother started adding business.
Yeah, hemolymph. Yeah, but just to remember, hemolymph isn't the medication. It's just food supplement. So it will help you with all different problems. But remember, it's not a medication. You can't really say, oh, this is gonna heal all the disease. No, wrong information. You can't do that. Just say it will help you in many different areas, especially women. Okay, for guys as well. Liver, if you drink a lot, that's for you.
Let me give a little bit of definition here for some of the new people. What we say is different between health supplements and medication. Health supplements can definitely help you and affect our health to a better life. Because it also contains the same ingredients as some medicines. Let's say, for example, one of my partners in Korea is taking medications for omega-3. But omega-3 can be a medication, but can be also have supplement. What is the difference? Omega-3 medications have very high content, and by any kind of experiments, it is proven to have somewhat of effect for everybody. So they have statistics. Okay, if you take some, and then you will have this result. A goes to B. This is medication. Health supplements is like, okay, this can help you, but depending on the person, how much effect it will have will be variable. It will differ. Okay, so this is why we do not say hemolymph is a miraculous medicine that can cure everything. No, the word cure doesn't sit here. It will help you, and it might help you very greatly indeedly as some testimonies, but it might help you slightly better off than you yesterday. You might not feel like so different, but it might help you as well.
Because everyone's body conditions are different, so remember that.
And also, there are some health supplements that will fit you better and other health supplements. So what is important is finding what health supplement you need and that will fit you rather than taking everything. So consult your sponsor for the right health supplement. And about that drinking, one of my partners.
With liver.
You know what they do? I would say the side effect of hemolymph. Do you know what this?
You don't get drunk easily.
Yeah, this is why I say side effect is because some of my guy partners would drink hemolymph, and they would drink both.
Yeah,
because they say to me that, oh, no worries, Sumin, I don't get drunk if I have hemolymph. So like side effect, you get to drink more.
Don't say that your wife will gonna cut the hemolymph. Don't do that.
Secret. Okay, so thank you so much for your sharing with your health improvements with Hemohim.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think this testimony will help a lot of the people out who have
Mm.
similar symptoms.
Mm.
So you got to what then your first impression about Agony
Mm.
would have been like, wow, what a good product, right?
Yeah, it was very effective, especially in my health perspective. But when my parents actually introduced that as a business for me to do, I was like, no, why? Like
Like,
I've got so many other options.
you used Agony product.
Yeah.
And then the moment you actually tried that, actually even before you used the product, the Hemohem,
Mm.
you were in Australia and then
Yeah.
your parents just started
Yeah.
sending videos and
Mhm.
making it to Agony.
Yeah. Even they said, oh, we're gonna make sure you're gonna be registered in the system, so give me your all personal data. And I was like, you can't have that. Like it's my
That's
own
my
information. And I think I remember it was a month before me going back to Korea. They're literally doing video call and give it to one of the offices, say, oh, she agreed to register, so I can have her information. I was like,
Mom,
Mom, Dad, what are you doing? You can't expose my information. So for products, I was yeah, I knew that it was popular amongst people. So think that, oh, this might work, this is effective. But when they introduced that as a part of my job, I wasn't
Like,
happy with it. I was like, no, you do it.
It's not my
It's
thing.
not a thing for me. Yeah. I rejected it.
Yeah. So you find another thing in common.
Yeah.
Okay. So but and when I listen to her story, I really find the power of Agony. Like why Agony would really work and why everybody can become successful. Surprising thing is that she got to know about Agony product when she don't know about Agony like 10 years ago in Australia. And then find the Hemohim from her friend.
Yeah.
And then only come to Korea to find out that this is the ad to me in Korea. So wow, this is I think really okay, guys. Is there any friend of yours or people that you know in Australia now after this meeting tomorrow right away? Pick up your phone and call right away. Hello, do you know Anthony?
Yeah.
They might already know about Agony and have tried the product like her. And then they might become your business partner like her and become sales master like her. Yeah. And if you want the young talented lady from Australia, now call your Australian friend right away after. Okay, so it wasn't your thing. So that was your impression.
Yeah, that was
about
my impression of Academy as a business. Yeah.
Then what did you want to do? Like you graduate you're about to graduate from
Yeah, I
university,
had
right?
one last semester. Yeah.
So what was your dream job? What do you want to do after graduation?
Well, it was related with my language skills, I could say. Because I was really interested in speaking in different languages. So I was thinking of becoming a translator.
Oh, not this one. Sorry,
Yes,
I
anyway.
opened up the wrong
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. This is the fun about being live.
Okay, so as you can see, this photo is from when I was grade. Okay.
You're okay.
Oh, sorry. So just to make sure. So the top photo, if you can find me in a dress, I'm the one who is in a white dress. So we call it formal. In US, I think they call it as prom. So that's a graduation party. And the one on the left is whenever I come back to Korea, it was during Christmas holiday. And that's where I do voluntary work. So as part of Pyeongchang Olympics, we needed translator at the same time ski instructor who can teach kids from countries where they can't see snow. So we translate English for them and also be in a team for them, support them. So this is kind of pictures that shows how active I am and how outgoing I am.
I got to find that out also. She would just come to my house and she's very outgoing person. I love it.
So this is just another photo showing how I studied in Australia with all different people, which kind of helped me to do academy business actually, because I'm a young leader, right? So I'm a young businesswoman, didn't have much network in Korea. So which means you gotta talk to people who don't have a relationship with. So if I was scared to hang out or speak to different people, I wouldn't be able to continue the business of Atomy, right? But because I was already pretty used to having different people around me, that's kind of helped me a lot for me to do this Atomy business.
So you, ever since you were young, you wanted to have a job that's like
Outgoing,
outgoing,
the involved with people.
mingling with
That's right.
people.
That's right.
And this is why, also because you volunteered for translations
Yeah.
in Hongkong.
Mhm.
And what's this picture?
So with this national flags, that's when I did internship. Have you guys heard about G20? So that's like a big
Ooh.
conference
Ooh.
with all different nations. So I got to translate there as well.
Hello.
Yeah, love heart. Thank you. Yeah, and also another photo that's Korean traditional clothes called hanbok. Yeah, because I was one of Korean society members there. I was a vice president, so I was also active. Yeah, really passionate about talking about my country. You know.
Yay! Patriot!
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, what's this?
Yeah, this sums up the time when I rejected and become like persistent with refusing admin. Yeah, so that was my parents. Imagine that's my mom, and I was like, nah, I don't want to listen to it. I'm gonna be a translator, and you are an admin. Okay, so yeah, just to show that.
So you had this dream job of yours is becoming the translator. And then you said, no, mommy, I want to be a translator. Don't talk to me about admin. But then what made you change your mind?
Well, that's a pretty important question because
Hmm.
whenever I go out and talk to random people and tell them that I'm doing business with this background, the number one question they ask me is, why? Why
Why?
with that all the tuition fee? Why do you do network marketing?
How much was the tuition fee for the past 10 years?
Well, it
in
was
Australia?
5 billion. Yeah,
Oh.
nearly more than 5 billion. Yeah,
5 billion
yeah, dollars.
yeah. USD.
Yeah.
5 billion. I mean, 5 billion?
Yeah. Oh, 5 billion Korean dollars.
US.
My parents isn't as rich. My parents isn't Bill Gates, but yeah, it cost a lot.
So that's in USD would be around 5 million.
Yeah, billion.
5
Korean dollars.
billion dollars.
Yeah.
Minus 3 zeros.
Yeah.
It's like 5 million USD. So that's like, okay. If you are an Imperial Master, you will be earning this is actually the income for 3 months of an Imperial Master. So
that's why they put me in an academy system, because they know that academy is the only way that you're gonna pay the tuition fee. Yeah, my parents is really smart. Yeah, they're pretty smart.
So your parents told you, do me and pay back.
Yeah.
5 billion Korean won.
Yeah, that's how smart my parents are.
Wow. They
really
raised
wise.
you very strong.
They did.
Oh my gosh. Okay, be responsible, yeah?
Yeah.
So, but you still said no, right? You wanted to be a translator. So why did you suddenly change? Can I go to the next slide?
Because this that's how much hard it was when I first accepted Academy. So because my parents, they're really stubborn, they didn't give up. So I had to just run away from home. I remember staying in the Starbucks thinking that why my parents keep forcing me to do this Academy. So the next photo shows how desperate I was to analyze Academy and see the pros and cons of Academy. And guess what? Next slide, please.
I don't think we need to go to the next slide to see how much you didn't want to do that business. I think the 2 pictures say already. I don't want to do it. Okay.
And guess what? After 6 hours of analyzing Academy, I realized that because of the network marketing and the system that is fair for everyone, that's why my parents strongly believe that Academy is the only way for me to have a balanced life with the freedom of financial independence and freedom of time. Yeah. So I came up with the conclusion that Academy wasn't the thing for me. It is a thing for me. Yeah.
So you analyzing so many reasons why not to do admin at Starbucks
Mm-hmm.
ended up making you feel like this,
Yeah.
like the blue
I was like,
blue
okay,
energy.
my parents won. They won
Okay.
me.
Okay, I cannot find any other reasons not to do. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
I mean, if you that's written in Korean. So the one that with white teeth is that symbolize the reality. You know, at the moment because of coronavirus. You know how I wanted to become a translator, right? But since COVID arose, 70% of translator lost their job because people can't have conference. Later on, when Zoom are created, then people could have their jobs back. But when I tried to become a translator, the reality was 70% unemployed translators. So I felt like the reality looked like just yellow sky and yellow teeth. But tool
Yeah, look,
came up, which was enemy. So with enemy, I see the dark, ugly reality to something that is bright, like a bright, the teeth
The
that you
white
see
teeth.
at the moment. So yeah.
So guys, here are out and change your yellow teeth with Atomy Propolis toothpaste and Bright Future Anatomy. Your white, beautiful, glowing teeth. She's a very funny person, I got to feel. And while we are being so excited
Mhm.
talking, we have some typings coming up.
Oh,
And then I
Very
got
active.
to learn something new. English not good, Chinese not good, Korean also not good. In Malaysia, we call it rojak. Now you
Oh,
learn the
rojak.
words about it.
hello, I'm Rojak.
Yeah, I'm also another rojak.
Yeah.
So,
Tiao, I think, yeah, I saw he laughed so loud. Hopefully, Rojak doesn't mean like an idiot. So yeah, Rojak.
does it mean
he-
idiot?
Right. Make sure, yeah, Rojak
I
laughed
hope
too
it's not.
hard. Yeah, hopefully it's not something offensive. But
Oh, okay.
yeah,
No,
I
it
learned
just means mix. Rojak means mix.
snake.
Mix together. Mix.
Mixed together.
Mixed together.
So we're like a melting
Yeah.
pot, and then we do
Oh,
Right.
got it.
Spot on.
Hello.
Thank you,
Rojak.
Audrey.
Thanks for the
Oh.
explanation.
And
yeah.
then when you were sharing about Hamilhim, so May, our dearest member said, ha ha ha. I just texted my boss about PMS problem.
Oh, so wait. Good job. Caring is about talking about enemy, okay?
Yes.
Caring is sharing enemy. Good job.
Um,
Your boss gonna love you, which means higher rank, higher payment for you, girl.
Yay!
Go.
Now,
Wow.
what is suara adi hilangnya? Oh,
Just because pretty, thank you.
is it like translations a lot?
Yeah.
Translation issue, but now it's okay.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Malaysian style of salad, that is rojak. Okay, thank you.
Oh,
the
the
salad
salad is
mixed.
mix it. Oh, pretty smart.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
thank you, Rojak. I'm gonna remember that.
So the reality, coming
Mm.
back to the topic, the reality, the flow of times, you have to realize that translator isn't the best jobs that we dreamed of. It's not.
I thought it's a stable job that also a job that people look up to.
Yeah.
Because whenever you see translator, oh my god, the person speaks in so many different languages with the translator. Yeah, exactly, elite. And I thought with a job of translator, my parents gonna be so proud of you. They're not gonna ask me to pay them back. But actually the payment of translator were really low, lower than what I expected.
True.
So that's another reality that hit me. And also the situation it changed everything, changed my mind, changed the whole situation. And because I have so many different friends who also study abroad, when I talk to them about their jobs, they were just so dreadful. Yeah, they
so
didn't.
sad being
yeah.
20s in Korea. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
let me cry.
I know one of friends. She worked for Microsoft. And I said, oh, yeah, some of you might say, oh, dream job, big company, big pay. No, she was suffer from having too much stress. And as you can already see, I don't want any stress in my life. So, yeah,
Me
the
too,
reality
too.
was just so different, and I felt like I was living in such a bubble. So when I came back to Korea, the bubble just popped, and that's when I realized after 6 hours of analyzing, yeah, enemy choosing the right tool is really important to live a life that I want to, and not only for myself but for my loved one as well. So for my family, for my friends, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the
Mm.
reality right now.
Mm-hmm.
In Korea, the unemployment rate is currently the highest, especially for 20s. So even when we graduate from Seoul University, Korea University, which is like the top 3 universities in Korea, which is very difficult to go into. Um, even after all the competition, we graduate, we end up being jobless for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And there's like one of my friends, who also, I told you about Hills, right? She is a very elite and smart person, but then after graduating Hills, she got a very good job in Singapore law firm, one of the best. But then she got laid off, not because of her abilities, but because of Corona. So I think this is not only in Korea, but same everywhere else around the world. So Corona, I think the impact on the human lives is also very severe. But I think the economic impact is way worse.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people losing jobs and losing the way to survive.
Also add to that, you know how as time goes by, the development of IT, so technology is changing rapidly, right? So already in Australia, some of service at the restaurant, they were replaced by robots.
That's so sad.
Yeah. So just, and on the article I read that 50% of jobs gonna be replaced by robots or even AI, and translator actually was one of them.
True.
Yeah. So people, some people try to ignore it because that truth hurts them. But as a young person who's gonna live longer, hopefully,
we're gonna live until 140 years old.
yeah. So we gotta realize the reality, even though it doesn't seem like pleasant. So that's another part of reality that hit me, and choose enemy over other beautiful looking jobs that will last won't that long, you know, won't last that long.
What is the definite critical part that made you choose this admin business, that you find is the strength of admin business?
Well, actually,
products?
Not only products, but just the potential of Atomy as a global business. Yeah, that's
being unlimited levels, a global one server.
At the moment, I've heard that Atomy is over 18 countries and gonna be more and more later on. If Atomy was only available in Korea, I wouldn't choose it. Yeah, because more people using it, which means more income, right? But when I was watching videos from CEO and heard about his passion and his dream and how enthusiastic he was, I believe that, oh yeah, Atomy still has potential, still has a space to grow up. So as Sumin said earlier, for younger generation, we gotta find a job that will last while we are alive, right? So choosing the right tool is always important, and Atomy was the one for me. Unlike other network marketing brands, I know so many other network brands, but Atomy, you know, the most important part is absolute quality with absolute price. So within this motto, I truly believe that this business will last longer than other brands. So that was the most critical part, that I chose Atomy over other business. So whenever I try to persuade people about whenever they compare other companies, I said, if you want to drink soup, you got to choose spoon, not a fork. So choosing the right tool is really important for you to survive.
That's a good saying, guys.
So I think that sums up everything.
Remember, guys, in this new generation, new era of untucked online platforms generation, do not choose the fork or the spoon to eat the soup. I like the phrase, no fork or spoon. Okay, so now when you started out in business, what kind of mindset or the heart you had when you began this business? You must have had maybe something that you wanted to achieve through this, right? Because you didn't want to lose your job. That's why you
Mm.
started this admin business, right? Because you
Mhm.
were afraid of the very unclear future.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah. This is also important as well because um, the motive is the most important part as well. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what keeps you going. At first, to be honest, I was quite struggling and confused because with this background, I have so many options.
True.
Yeah. I can even work for other foreign companies so easily. Yeah. But for other people who I've heard they're successful, the common thing was as like they're really desperate. Yeah, they have so many things they're responsible of. But for me, some people say, "Oh, you don't have a husband, so you don't need to cook so good for free time." But guess what? Because I don't have anyone that I need to financially support, that kind of drags me down and be less desperate. So while I was doing Academy, I had to keep thinking why I should do Academy. Oh, why? And just push myself harder. And one thing that helped me to become more desperate was other people's gossip about my parents. So what others said towards my parents was because, oh my gosh, they sent a daughter to Australia for 11 years and
Spend 5 billion.
yeah,
What?
and then guess what? They asked her daughter to do network marketing.
MLM.
Yeah, so stupid. And even some people said in front of my parents said that they're going nuts, they're going crazy.
So
And when I
naughty.
heard it, it broke my heart. And I didn't, yeah, I didn't like just go down and be like sad about it. I wasn't like that. I took that as a positive motivation, which was, guess what? If you call my parents crazy, yeah, you can say that because you don't know anything about enemy. But I will show how powerful it is, and I will show you how wise my parents was. You know, my parents are for me to show enemy business. You know, so for me, my most motive was my parents showing how I got the right choice. But I guess for everyone, the motivation gonna be different. So you gotta find your own motivation that push you harder and try harder. Okay? Yeah.
Well, that's very good. I would like to emphasize one more time.
Yeah.
Like she said, finding your own motivation very important. I think. Like Star Master shall always say it, right?
Yeah.
Like, why are we doing Academy?
Mm.
If we cannot find the why, we always have to go back
Yeah.
to level one.
Mm-hmm.
Find why.
Mm.
Find why.
Yeah.
And like her, find why. And then you can be like a bulldog for it.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I need
The charger. It said low battery. Yeah. So there's a bit of break. Drink your
yeah,
tea, whatever. Yeah. Break time, guys. Just shake a little bit, stretch out. Because there are more stories to come. Okay.
Yeah, you guys all know so man being clumsy all the time, forgetting things.
Yeah, Leslie, I can see you're drinking water.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, thank you so much for the sharing.
Mm.
For the very honest sharing.
Yeah.
It could have not been easy, you know, to bring
yes.
doubt.
Mm-mm.
But thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
阿张，
阿酱，
加油！
Okay, so I also got you gave me your name card just now,
Yeah,
right?
business card.
And then I got her business card, and then she actually made it herself. But not the Etsy format, but she have designed
Yeah.
it and made it like yeah. Oh yeah, there. Yeah. So it's very pretty, pink. And then what actually touched me is not this pretty lady illustration part, but the actually back part. Here she wrote down some saying. Would you like to share a bit about what you wrote down in the business card?
So I wrote the quotation that hit me a lot, which is successful people look for ways, look for solutions. People who fail, they look for excuses. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So because obviously doing anime isn't always beautiful. I know that, and we've experienced that a lot, right? But in the same situation, you can think in different ways. You can take that as, yeah, okay, I can find a new solution in here. I got a new experience I can share with my partners, and I can sympathize with other partners whenever they encounter this similar situation. Or you can be really bitter about this and saying that, oh my gosh, she said no, she said enemy sucks. But remember, they're not, and you can take that as an excuse. Say, oh, sponsor, I got hurt, I can't go out, they don't like me. No, you gotta grow from it, okay? It says, another favorite quote I like is, if others break your shell, you're gonna be a fried egg. But if yourself break your shells, you're gonna be a chick, a living chick. So don't let others break your own shell. You gotta
You're fried egg.
yeah, you gotta push harder so you can go beyond your limit. That's how you're gonna survive in this reality. And I strongly encourage you guys, if I can do it, you can do it as well. So no excuses, only ways to overcome and grow.
Yeah, it reminds me of this saying that I ran across today. Ability is what you're capable of doing. Since she is a lady full of abilities. But if she stopped here, she probably would not been able to achieve her sales mastership because her mother and her father, who brought her into Atomy, which is her sponsor,
Oh yeah.
are still agents.
Yeah, surprise, right? I found there's so many young,
Oh gosh.
young people in enemy. Their parents already have this so many different positions, but guess what? My parents, they're still agent, but even so for me, I didn't see any progress of them becoming real sales master or diamond master, but they strongly encourage me to become a leader so they can pay back. You know, I can pay back.
Pay them back.
Yeah, pay them back.
Actually, just this one fact. My parents are agents still. I'm a sales master. Already actually represent her mindset and her business, how she had carried out. Her parents wouldn't have been able to help her out a bit, right? So if she only had the ability, like ability is what you're capable of doing, right? Then she wouldn't have been able to become sales master. You have to do your true lines all by yourself. No support from your family or from your sponsors. You have to do your thing by yourself. And you've been overseas for 10 years. And now you're landed in Korea, although it's your hometown, you don't know anyone. So it's like me going to Malaysia, KL, I didn't know anyone. It's the same thing. But then the quote goes on to the next part. Motivation determines what you do. She determined what to do with the motivation she had. Okay, you know my parents?
Oh, bring it on.
That's fine.
Oh, I didn't say it in front of them because they're older than me. I just said, a family enemy.
And then the quote goes on to the next part. Attitude determines how well you do it. So she didn't only finish from the ability part, moves on to motivation and to the attitude. And that's why in 1 year she could have become the new sales master and could have given the representative speech in the Success Academy. So I think that really summarizes what the motive and how you carried out your attitude business cycle of the coach.
Yeah.
So while doing our business, have you tried only him? Is there other?
Come on, sales master.
Sorry.
Only tried hammer him.
Sorry,
Really?
no, I have to ask because that's like one of the steps I have to ask.
Yeah. I see Adhi holding hammer him. Oh, good. Yeah. MOM was obviously the best-selling product, so I couldn't miss. But another my favorite, I should pick one from skincare or cosmetic range, and my favorite item is sunscreen. Yeah, surprise. Because in Australia, sunlight is really strong. So many Australian people, they tend to have skincare. Skin cancer. So for me, from a very young age, I never forget putting sunscreen on my face. But the thing is, if the sunscreen has high level SPF, it tends to be really greasy, you know? Greasy, yeah, sticky, and have really strong white residue. So it looks like I'm a clown, you know? It's a white face, yellow neck. But I had to put it because I didn't want any skin cancer. But when my mom introduced sunscreen, first, the prices was very reasonable. It was affordable. And when I tried it, gosh, it was like a cream, you know? It absorbed really well and moisturizing, and it wasn't greasy. It has matte finish, but it wasn't drying at all. So for me, who put makeup after putting sunscreen, Enemy sunscreen was like perfect. And some high brand sunscreen, their price is really high to afford. It's not affordable, and sometimes if you put around your eyes, it became really watery and sore. But I didn't have that with Enemy sunscreen, so I strongly recommend for those who look for reasonable, high quality and easy to carry around, because you're gonna put sunscreen a lot. So sunscreen is one of my favorite products from skincare range. And another food supplement is fine zyme. Guys, fine zyme is another thing you should put it in your pouch, carry with you all the time. Okay, listen guys. So fine zyme, for those who don't know about this, fine zyme is it's like a powder, tastes like pineapple. So fine zyme pineapple. Okay, guys. So it contains dry pineapples as well, which helps with your digestion of fats, carbohydrates, and protein as well. So I don't get indigestion often, but I'm a food lover. So whenever I eat a lot,
Food fighter.
yeah. So fine zyme really helped me in a short period of time. So instead of taking medication, fine zyme, which actually helps me a lot with digestion with natural sources. Yeah, I strongly recommend for those who have problem with indigestion, and for older generation as well, because I remember one of my aunties, she had a problem like after eating a lot, and then I give her must-have item, fine zyme, take it. And then she's like,
I love the big.
yeah. Actually, one of partners from other group, she said she always carries fine zyme in her pouch. So that's how I gotta learn it from her. So in my pouch, I always carry fine zyme, and not for myself, but for others as well. You gotta share it, and as you guys already know, from experience, that's how you become faithful with Adam. So yeah, fine zyme, sunscreen, hemoim. Yeah, if I can only carry 3 items to an island, yeah, maybe chicken as well. I don't know, but yeah, from Enemy, 3 items. I strongly recommend. Yeah.
I think her powerful experiences with the products is one of the driving motive for her to
Yeah,
have
true.
confidence.
Yeah, and become a royal customer. Yeah.
Mm. She actually told me over dinner that if she can meet anybody, she can make anyone buy these 3 things.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I can make them feel like they're full without these products, Yeah.
So let us review it for ourselves. Is there the product that I can really definitely share with confidence? I think this is one of the key factors
Yes.
for becoming sales master.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You shared one tip of becoming sales master even without thinking about it. Okay, while we were chit-chatting, Alice mentioned when we were talking about COVID and all, she mentioned she's also a very young leader. She's
hi Alice.
Yeah, she's in her early 20s.
Oh,
Very nice. I want to be back at like
too
Alice.
late.
Perfect time.
Yeah.
Use more absolute. Okay, being recent graduate, I'm not even getting an average job. Corona made we freshers totally hopeless.
So true.
So true. Thankfully found avenue though. Yes.
Oh yeah, love the conclusion. Yes, I mean, even for us at our late 20s, we're really grateful about knowing Enemy as our job. But for you, you're early 20, girl, you're gonna be retired at your 30. Okay, so good.
30 years old and Imperial Master. Oh,
yeah. Don't forget about us. Say
Alice,
we're
remember me.
Yeah. Alice from Wonderland, not Wonderland, from Enemy Land.
How did you know? We are going through this program called basic training. We are this basic training is for the business leaders growing in Avenue, new business leaders. And we have teams. Each teams are competing. Alice is team leader, and Alice's team name is Alice in Wonderland. And Alice is like Avenue Land.
Alice, change it. No, don't wander around. What's the Enemy Land?
That's what it is. That's why I said it. Avenue Land.
Yeah.
So not Alice in Wonderland, but Enemy Land.
Yeah.
That's her slogan.
You landed in Enemy, okay?
So that's
not
how I
wander
say.
around. Yeah.
Okay. So Mr. T had some questions about at the end. I want to push this to the end of the sessions.
Okay. Yeah. Keep the best for the last.
Because this is a bit technical question.
Okay.
Yeah, and Simon mentioned, yeah, at least many people, especially graduates and undergraduates, are looking forward to academy as their best return
Yeah.
places.
Mhm.
Actually, this is happening in Korea, like her.
Yeah, so many young people are coming to join Academy family, you know.
Yeah, do you know that when I started academy,
Mm.
20% which is less than like 5% in the whole system.
Oh.
But then now, 20s and 30s, in total 20s, 30s, total last time it was less than 5%, right?
Uh-huh.
Now it's 30% plus.
30%.
In only 4
Wow.
years.
And I guess it's gonna increase more and more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If it counts global members in, it will be
True.
way higher.
Mhm.
Like I believe in India, there are way more younger people
Mm.
joining in academy.
Yeah, so don't be sad if you're not in your 20s. Obviously, you're gonna have 20, 30 people in your, you know, customer range, you know.
Okay, we are being too excited, so we talk so much.
Mm.
I want to go into the main topic.
Yeah. Back on track.
Oh yeah, back on track. So now you're a sales master.
Mm.
So how have your 1 year in academy has been? Your journey.
Woo.
This is the main topic.
Woo. Yeah.
So I would like you today to share some of your know-hows, how you actually built from nothing, from zero to becoming sales master.
Yeah, I could say that year was like a roller coaster. Yeah, it was hectic. Yeah, full of dramas, tears, no blood, thankfully. Yeah, tears and sweats. Whenever I think about becoming a sales master, I couldn't do it by myself. I got help from my sponsors as well, mentally a lot. They support me and they just encourage me a lot to keep going. One of stories that I want to share is that I remember going to different stores a lot because as I said earlier, I'm young and I didn't have any connection in the city that I'm living at the moment. So which means I need to look for my own network. So going to the random people and talk about enemy. And I remember it was pouring.
Rain.
Yeah, the rain was pouring. So I was holding this umbrella, carrying a bag full of enemy products, catalog, and coffee. And I entered this store. And as I was trying to fold the umbrella, guess what? I dropped the coffee. It spilled everywhere. Felt so. It's like the end of the world. But thankfully, the owner came up and then she said, "Oh, it's fine, it's fine." And she said, "Oh, don't move. I will handle everything." And she wasn't even wiping my clothes because it was wet. And I felt like
she's so nice.
Yeah, I appreciated how nice she was, but she might think that I was there as her customer. But when I started talking about enemy, instead I said maybe she expected me to order some food, right? That's why she was nice. But as soon as I started talking about enemy, her face was changed. She's like, she didn't talk much. And this sudden change literally broke my heart. I felt like
I can read it from her face. Please leave my store.
Yeah, like that. She didn't even say it, but I could see it. So I felt like I did something really bad to them. Heartbroken. Felt like I was a sinner. So I just ran away. I ran away. And then I still remember the moment
that was your first experience in cold contact?
No, it wasn't even my first. But still, the feeling was so raw. Yeah. Because I wasn't used to getting refused back then. So I remember outside of umbrella, the rain was pouring, but inside of umbrella, my tears, it was pouring. Yeah, that's how hard it was. That situation was so hard to accept for me as a young person. But that wasn't the only time that I had really hardship doing cold contacts. But as I said, successful people look for solution, not take that as excuses, right?
So what was the solution?
So after that, I didn't give up. I challenged myself to revisit. And guess
this
what?
person?
Yeah.
Easy.
My parents owned a toy store, so they gave me this solution. Yes, you gotta keep going. You gotta show that you didn't try to harm the business or anything like that. Just show them how diligent you are, how hardworking you are, and that eventually will move their heart. So that's what I tried. I revisit and explain everything, and guess what? Now they're part of my customers. They're one of my customers, and they even introduced other people and said, "Yes, come here and introduce Atomy business to people." So yeah, it was a roller coaster. Imagine you guys being in my shoes, having that dreadful moment with peers and just say, "No, this isn't for me. I can't do it." Then I couldn't even be here today speaking about my stories in front of you guys. So yeah, a year was full of dramas, but time will pass anyway. And another really good quotation is that emotions, it will eventually fade out, but results, that's what it remains. So don't linger to any negative emotion because eventually it will go away. But the result, if you're being persistent and try to overcome your obstacles, the result will remain. And my result was becoming a sales master. Yeah.
I think, long story short, did you only do cold contact?
Later on, I talked to my relatives
But
about anime.
basically, relatives not much, right?
No,
So-
it takes time.
Basically, she becomes sales master only through cold contact by showing the diligence and continuity and earning the trust.
That's right. Yeah.
Guys, this is very important. In the 8 core, we have number 1 to number 8, right? In number 8 is the trust building.
Oh, yes, yes.
And many leaders think of it very lightly, trust building very lightly. But then this is, I believe, one of the key factors that will make your new business leaders and make new consumers.
Yeah.
Like what she did with her cold contact people.
Yeah.
No, do you know Atomy?
Yeah. And they're like, "Yeah, we know, but we don't want you to be here." But I will give you another.
I think that's a good response.
Yeah.
This is still a very good response.
It's really realistic. If I can give you one really effective tip, it's just don't go there with catalogs or products. Go there with a bit of snack. You know, I try to go to stores around from 2 to 4, where they get a bit of hungry and have free time. Just visit them with a bit of snack, and that allows you to actually sit down and talk to them and have that snack time. And people, including myself, when we eat something, we become happy. So they're quite open. And also another tip is that because I visited so many different stores where they're selling products, I introduce their products between themselves. So not only Atomy, but I remember this chestnut snack store, and they're really making good snack. So whenever I visit other customers, I buy one of their products and visit other store and talk to them about their business as well. So it feels like I'm helping their business as well. So they feel like, oh, this person not only talk about Atomy, but she's actually essential, and showing the result and telling them, oh, guess what? My other customer really love your products, and they're really open, and they also try to help me because I help them to do their marketing. So think in their shoes and try to think, oh, what this person would want, not only think in your own perspective, but from others as well. That's how I could build a trust relationship in such a short period of time. Yeah, just be really genuine and sincere. Yeah.
Guys, underline, highlights, 5-star. She have given an awesome tip just now, how to build a trust when you're doing hot contact.
Yeah, that's $100 tips, guys. So I will
Yes.
leave my bank account. So later on, you know what to do. Yeah.
So this is a very good tip though.
Yeah.
Building the trust. Oh wow.
Yeah, having lunch time, munch.
And when you can buy one product like a sandwich or like a chestnut stores,
Yeah, chestnut snacks.
Snacks.
Yeah, the
When
bread.
you bring that thing
Mm.
to another stores and then every store you're kind of munching time,
Yeah,
you can sit down and chit chat with everybody.
exactly.
And then when these guys go to the chestnut store and talk about, oh, this lady from Atomy introduced this, and oh, the chestnut store will be
Yeah.
this girl, especially if the store owner have been naughty to you. The feeling, the emotion of thankfulness, and how sorry they would feel to you. So this is like I would like to again underline, highlight 5 stars.
Yeah.
Remember, guys. And then even though you might say, yeah, I don't need to do cold contact. I have so many warm market. I have so many people that I know of. Try this out. Why? You might be okay, but your partner or your partner's partner might not know anyone how to help them out. You need to go out together with the sub leader and then teach this person how to do cold contact, right? We cannot tell our downline, oh, you can do cold contact by yourself. Sponsor, partner,
Together.
handyman, go cold fighting together. Okay?
Yeah.
This is the rules. Okay, so thank you for this awesome tip. Do you have any other like experiences you would like to share?
Ooh, a lot of experience. Well, I still remember a few customers. They took a bit of time to actually be really open-hearted towards me, but again, what I emphasize is just keep going. That's what they want to see. And sometimes it seems like the result doesn't come out. But even before coming to this meeting, I've got this phone call from a lady who I attended her son's wedding. She said, Jess, I want to do this Academy as a part-time job, which wasn't what I expected at the first place, because whenever I talked about Academy business, how beneficial it is for you as a mid-aged lady, she smiled and yeah, just like me at the first place. Oh, not a thing for me. You do. Not a thing for me. After that, I didn't force her to see what I see in Academy. So I just patiently wait, but still showing her that I'm doing business, no matter where you're interested or not. And I even text her every morning and with the news of Academy, and whenever I upload new YouTube channel video, I sent it to her and she didn't reply. So I thought, okay, no reply, it's okay, and move on. But later on, when we had a conversation on the phone, over the phone, she said, Jess, I've been watching your YouTube channel and I can see that you're really active with this business. So just don't quick to judge. Because it applies to many customers, and potential customers can be potential your business partners. And it's funny how one of my clients, she even said, actually my sister's doing Academy business, but because the reason that I didn't join in her line is doing business with a family is different. And because she felt like if she's doing Academy business with her sister, she couldn't complain. That's why she said, I chose over my sister. So at first, when she said, oh, my sister is doing Academy, I thought, oh, maybe then she'll go under her line and she will support her family. No, don't quick to judge. She said she chose me over her family. So you never know.
This also happens. I think important is showing the trust.
Showing the trust. And you know what? People can see if you try to sell products only. They can see it. So without forcing them, just try to make them feel like we're doing this for their own sake. Just sharing a good news. So don't force them and just be patient, but you gotta be really persistent with your own heart to serve them with humility. Just like we share in the motto. Humble, cherish the spirit. And be thankful.
And I think you just mentioned the principle of becoming sales master as well, which is do not make prejudgment. This is like all the leaders say this. In Korea we say 네 맘 내 맘의 법칙. Which is the indirect translation would be the law of you mind my mind. It's like I share only, you decide. I don't care what you decide. You are the one that have to think about it, right? But all the leaders talk about it, but not many leaders carry it out to action in their admin lives. So I think Jessica today have shared a lot about her know-hows of how she became a sales master over the past 1 year. I think she has some other stories to share, but we are running out of time. So have you noticed we are already like
my god.
That was fun, wasn't it? Because she was so worried by coming over. what to talk about, but like yeah, time flies.
Wow.
So if you have any other questions you would like to ask Jessica, this is the last chance.
Ooh.
Leave in the chatting room the questions,
Uh-huh.
and then one more time. The thing is, guys, the right to becoming sales master. I've invited Jessica over today, but it's very simple. We don't have actually special
Secrets.
secrets in becoming sales masters. It's already open. See your park said it all. The difference is whether you are doing it or not doing it. Okay, so let us move on to the Q&A part. Yay!
Yeah, interaction, building trust, you know.
Okay, so Mr. Teo have asked some questions just now. It's a bit technical and it's about Australia.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure whether you might be familiar with this, but Mr. Teo have asked two questions.
Yes.
Number one, I have an Australian member interested to build out my business in Melbourne.
Oh.
She do not have ABN. I heard from her ABN need to pay a few thousands Australian dollars. Is it true? Every year for audit only.
Audit only. Oh. I know ABN is required for her to be a distributor, but I guess it's really depending on the volume of her income about paying tax. And for audit, I think she said it $1,000 because she's asking maybe one of accountants, because I know some of my friends, they do it by themselves because they can do it online. So
is it cheaper if you do it by yourself?
Yeah, obviously labor fee, there's no labor fee if you do it by yourself, but I can't really say my answer is 100% right because I don't fully understand her situation at the moment. But it looks like she doesn't have any ABN, which can be, a bit of limit for her to become a distributor because ABN is essential for her to carry Academy business in Australia. Yeah, because I know I have this one member who joined in Australia, and fortunately, he has ABN, so that's how he became a distributor. For me.
But I think the solution we have at the moment for this member, if she cannot make ABN right away, is for her to be a consumer member for now.
Yeah.
Until she can build her left and right a bit, so that the income from Academy would be sufficient enough for her to maybe change to a business member.
Yeah. But I think. Yeah, we gotta double check this though. But I believe whenever you join a new membership in Australia account you gotta choose first. So
yeah, you can be a consumer
and then later on change it.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can change
that's
to
good.
distributor later.
Mhm.
So maybe she can do that. Or if she has family members from outside Australia, can make use of that as well. So can register the family member under and maybe you can share. So this is sadly no direct solution yet for the ABN problem. And yeah, and what other question? Question number 2, Mr. Teo asks is how to approach young working adult in Australia. I have some friends below 30 years old.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
So you have been in Australia for a long time.
Yeah.
And since you are doing your business, how would you approach your Australian friends?
First of all, I will put emphasis on Academy's skincare product because in Australia, skincare products is so expensive.
Is it?
Yeah, it is expensive, especially and for young ladies. They tend to spend much money. They're willing to pay much money, only if they can have the benefit from it. And Australian people, they're quite happy and have really positive impression about Asian products. So emphasize on that. And also, I'm not sure about Hemohim because the taste of it. Because I found that Caucasian, they're really not familiar with the taste. But as long as the person actually get help from it, then that's all you need to convince them. So first of all, I strongly recommend skincare and cosmetics, and even for guys as well. Actually, my Australian member, he's a guy, and the first item that I suggest him to try is body care. You know, body lotion, body wash, and shampoo and conditioner. Compared to Australian brand, it's quite pricey, but just put emphasis on that. The quality, compared to the quality, the price is reasonable. Yeah. And don't give an impression that this is just a cheap brand. No, it's a high-end product,
Mhm.
but because we don't spend any money for advertisement, that's why the price is low. And I know probiotics is also good, but skincare product definitely, yeah.
So more emphasis on the personal care and also skincare compared to the health supplements.
Yeah.
Since Australia has lots of other health supplements, right?
Yeah, it's really famous.
And tends to be also good price. And
Mm,
in Korea, these also Australia products are expensive, but like
Mm.
in Australia, it's made in Australia, so it will be more cheaper, right?
yeah, so while I was staying in Australia, every holiday I was sending like tons of food supplements from Australia to Korea, and that cost a lot. Like omega-3 is like one bottle is $60, so which was expensive because I always look for the best one for my parents. But now we don't have anything from Australia or New Zealand because anime is also the best quality, with absolute price. So people think wise. You can save money from handling your expenses effectively. Okay. Yeah.
That's very nice. Thank you. I have one more question. You said skincare will be a good solution for Australian recruiting.
Something you can
Australians, right?
approach easily. Yeah.
But then what skincare would you recommend to Australian people?
Ooh.
There are like so many skincare, right? What do you recommend?
Acne, definitely.
Acne?
So many young people they suffer from acne, and acne is so many people compliment about their product. So acne definitely. What else for guys? It's really hard because we Absolute, but I know the price is quite it's really high in Australia. The full set is really expensive, but if you put emphasis, like if you say, oh, this price is actually cheaper than what it is, then people can invest it.
So Absolute is a good choice for the Australian people in general.
Yeah.
But
Acne.
because of the full set price, for the young people, it will be a bit challenging, right? For the older generations, Absolute will be like nothing.
Yeah, but for Absolute, try to target international students. Yeah.
International students for Absolute? Why? The other reason?
Because for me, like, because I was also an international student, so I tend to buy all the skincare products from Korea and take it with me to Australia because I wasn't happy with Australian products. So Australian international students who study in Australia, they're willing to pay. What I found while I was promoting products, for some people, they were never happy with the price. They don't care about the quality. All they care is the price. But if you keep looking for people who can only spend a little bit, that wouldn't help enormously. So you can have a big range of your customer who are willing to pay a lot and who are willing to pay less. But as Sumi said earlier, try to have personal care, what this person is, because I can't really say right now because everyone's skin type is different. So acne, dry, or because my customer, what he said is he prefers product with strong scent. So even with lotion, you gotta find the most scented one. So everyone's different. Just focus on personal care. So before making any recommendation, ask many questions. What's your skin type? What's your price budget? And I found that in Melbourne, you have less what is it? A transportation not transportation, but delivery fee. But for people who live in Brisbane, you gotta spend specific amount in order to be delivery free. So try to consider all different elements and give the best solution for your clients.
Yeah, I think a good enough answer. So if Mr. T will have any further questions regarding this question, you can just ask in the group chat. Yes, I think now is good already. So Sungmei said, yay, I have a friend in Australia too.
Nice.
Agreed, no excuses as I still recruit my friend in Kuala Lumpur. Even
good on you.
I am in Ipoh, separate town. Thanks to career service.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Alice said she will never forget us,
Yeah.
even after she became
Alice,
Imperial
I will
Master when
remember
she was
you.
30 years.
I don't know.
Okay.
Mm.
Alice and Alan, very impressive.
Mm.
Okay. Your tip, everybody is telling in the chat room, that is a very good tip.
Yeah.
So thank you, Sazai.
So you gotta put it in your action to make yours, guys. Okay.
Yeah, today, even after listening to Jessica, if you don't do
Make it
it,
yours. Duplicate.
yeah,
Okay.
duplication is the key to success.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, will we get this recording? Yes, I
Yay!
am recording and we'll be uploading to our team's
Yay.
YouTube channel. Yay!
Yeah, actually, I'm thinking of upload this on my YouTube channel. If you Google Adami Soida, so Soida, as you can already see, I have pretty like popping personality. So come and subscribe. If you put any comments, I will put re-comment as well. So yeah, also I have Instagram. So for those, if you wanna ask me any question or how I'm doing, follow me on Instagram as well. It's also Adami Soida. So feel free to contact me. I'm more than welcome to help you guys because I know exactly how you would feel in this field.
Oh, but then this one, you talk to your sponsor first before you talk to Soda about it.
Oh,
This one is like, if you don't talk, this is the very dangerous situation to say. If you talk to only your cross line for
oh
for
yeah, you gotta
counseling,
talk to your sponsor first.
because the thing is, your cross line leaders who is close to you
Oh.
don't know about your whole lineage
Mm-mm-mm.
and the group situation
Mm-mm-mm.
and how you have been doing out of it, even though you try to explain with words. It's not easy to explain everything, right?
Mm.
So the best always is to talk to your direct sponsor.
Yeah.
And
Counseling.
then talk if you want to talk to me also that again, then we can arrange another session.
Yeah.
So no worries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do share your YouTube name, please. It's called Atomy Soda, but sorry, it's only in Korean for now.
Mm-hmm.
But she is planning to update some English
Yeah, the
videos.
subtitles.
So when she do, please send me your YouTube link so I can share it to my downline
Yeah.
and they can follow your YouTube channel after watching the video.
Yes.
So yeah, very nice. So thank you, Jessica. So
Thank you guys. Really.
so no more questions that we would like to close today.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to end today's session with of the famous Zig Ziglar's quote: "Your attitude, not your aptitude, will determine your altitude."
Oh.
I love this phrase. Let me repeat that again. Your attitude, not your aptitude, will determine your altitude. That's like so nice. So what it means, it is not about the things that we are good at, aptitude, but it is our attitude that determines and builds our success, our altitude, how high we will go. I think that really summarizes Soda's past 1 year, Jessica's past 1 year.
Yeah.
I keep on saying Soda.
You
Okay.
call me twice.
Let's take to heart what Sales Master Jessica said to us today. 간절해야 성공한다. 간절해야 되는 이유를 만들어라. We need to be desperate to become successful. If you do not have the reason, then find the reason to be desperate. Okay? And never give up in atomy. It's the famous phrase we always quote and say, but never take heart. So take your heart today again. But of course, sometimes we need to take courage. We need courage to take step into the great unknown, especially if you're very new in Albany. I know some of the members who have joined today is very new in Albany. I love you guys all.
Welcome.
And especially when you're new, you need a lot of courage because you have never done it. You need to step into the unknown, and this is the scariest part in Albany. But while carrying out the business, I also doubted myself many times. Many of you might know my stories also. And I remember my first 6 months in Albany. I was crying my eyeballs out every night. Oh, watching my pillow. I'm lying on the sofa bed in KL Ampang Victory Center last time. Then you see where I am now. Okay, so I would like to remind all the members today who have attended, trust yourself. you can do it. Okay? Trust your sponsor, trust the team, trust the system that will take you up to the high, to the altitude. And never give up. Don't be full time, but full time, mind and heart, and work in Atomy and achieve success. Yay!
That's how passionate she is.
Yes, I'm always passionate. So that is for today. Thank you for Sota. And I pass the mic to Simon.
Thanks for having me tonight, guys.
All right, girls. Okay, thank you very much to both of you. It's a very wonderful session. Seeing you guys, both of you chit-chatting, and actually, I love very much, especially when Sales Master Sumin mentioned the very last statement. You're gonna be desperate to be successful, and if you're not desperate enough, you should be seeking the reason why you're going to be desperate and find that desperation to be successful. I love that that statement very much. I hope that I could actually really turn back time, like as young as they are, listening to Jessica, but back then when she's young in Australia, meeting with different people, but I really admire her determination, a passion, even after more than 10 years and then coming back to Korea with her accent in Australia. So I think she's going to be like facing a lot of difficulties, doing anime business back in Korea. Even I heard a lot of stories from Sumin. Even she got kicked out by people, throwing salt at her, that kind of thing. But can just imagine how difficult it is. But she determined, she made it to become sales master in Atomy, and I really admire her passion, her determination. Yeah. So each and every one of you find the reason to be desperate, so to be successful in Atomy. So I think with that, let's close tonight's session. Thank you once again to our special guest, Jessica, sales master, and also our beautiful host, Sales Master Suvin. Yeah. And also, once again, I would like to thank the crew for tonight, for those who are actually doing the translation. Diamond Master Sungi, yeah, and then also Adi, we're from Indonesia for the Indonesian translation. Yeah, Sungi, Diamond Master for the Korean translation, and also Sokmei from Malaysia for the Chinese translation. I can tell you it's not easy to actually get crew like this to do simultaneous translation with different languages. And I really want each and every one of you, please put your hands together and give them a big applause, for their hard work. And also for Subin, for gathering all of us and unite us in this Hello Global United, where each of us has the opportunity to actually learn and be successful in Atomy. Thank you once again for all the crew members and also all the leaders who actually attended these seminars, giving us a support. And also not forgetting, thank you for all the participants for tonight, for wherever you are, from Indonesia, India, Malaysia, Korea, Turkey, wherever you are. Even some of you guys are from Canada, all the way from Canada, US. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your passion for your success in Atomy. So let's end tonight's session with reciting the company motto together. So let's unmute your mic. I think most of you already got too excited. You all forgotten to unmute your mic. So unmute all of your mic. I want to listen to your beautiful voice. Okay, let us start reciting the company motto. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. The count of 1, 2, and 3.
Sharing success.
The vision. The faith.
Come on, let's do it.
Yeah, thank you very much to all of you for attending. Good night, everyone. I will see you next week for another Hello Global United.